something, he made you alive. He made you alive. There's no other way. And when God does that, what is the impact of that? You get forgiveness of your trespasses. Did you get forgiveness of your trespasses because you said something? No, man. No. That's not what the book teaches. You got forgiveness of sins because God made you alive. And he did that with Jesus Christ. With Jesus Christ. It's nothing to do with you. You did nothing. Why? Because you can't do nothing. What can a dead person do? Can a dead person make choices? No. Can a dead person pray? No. Can a dead person do anything to help themselves? No. So what does God have to do? He's forced to do this, friends. If he wants anybody to go to heaven, he has to make people alive. He has to make people alive. He has to make people alive. That's what he has to do. And whose choice is that? Whose choice is that? Let's go to the book. Let's find out. Let's find out. What does the book say? Whose choice is it that people are born, created again? He was in the world, speaking of Jesus, and the world was made through him, and the world did not know him. He came to his own, and his own did not receive him. Now watch this. But as many as have received him. Now let me ask you a question. Can a dead person receive anything? To them, and only to them, he gave the right to become the children of God. Now, God explains how these people receive him. To those who believe in his name, now listen, who were born. Who said something? Nope. Who went somewhere? Nope. No. They were simply born. What does that mean? They were created again. Now, let's finish. Not of blood. It didn't come from natural birth, nor of the will of the flesh. You can't make a decision to come to God, nor of the will of man. No religious person can bring you to God. How then? It must be God's decision. What else you want me to say? That's what the book teaches. Now, let's move on. Same thing. You're trying to find out, how do people get this life? Now, God just told us in John chapter 1 how people get it. He's going to tell you again. Look at this. And this is glorious, friends. Watch this. Now, the Jews had a tough time with this, right? They understood what Jesus was saying. Therefore, the Jews sought all the more to kill him, to kill Jesus. Why? Because he not only broke the Sabbath, but he also said that God was his father. And what does that do? That make him equal with God. And what was the problem with that? The Jews only had one God. If Jesus was equal with God, that made two. So either Jesus was the God that they claimed they were serving, or there's two gods, and the Jews wasn't having it. But Jesus wasn't claiming to be another God. He was claiming to be their God. Then Jesus answered and said to them, look at this, folks. Most assuredly, I say to you, that the Son, the body of Jesus, that's who he's talking about. He's talking about his own body. Can do nothing of himself. Your body can't do nothing by itself. Take the spirit that's living inside of your body, and that body of yours is going to fall smack on the ground. Dead. Jesus also had a spirit living inside of him. Who was the spirit living inside of Jesus? The Father. Making the body equal with God. Your body can do anything you can do. God's body, the man Jesus, can do anything God can do. Now, listen to him. The Son can do nothing of himself, but what he sees the Father do, what he sees the Father do, for whatever he does, the Son, listen, the Son does in like manner. Oh, wait a minute, man. Jesus said he can do everything God can do. Yes. For the Father loves the Son. The Father loves his own body. That's the marriage. And shows him all things that he himself does. Now watch this. And he will show him greater works than these, that you may marvel. For as the Father, and what's the greater work? This right here. Jesus said he's going to show you greater works. Then he goes on to tell you what the greater works are. It's the greatest work, friends. Why? Because it leads to salvation. For the Father raises the dead and gives life to them. Now this them is italicized, meaning it's just put in there for reference. He gives life. Who did the Father raise from the dead? Raised himself from the dead. The body of the man. Even so, the Son does something. What does the Son do? He gives life. The Son gives life. Why does the Son give life? Because he do everything the Father does. He gives life to who? Everybody. No, to whom he decides to give life to. There are people who are dead, everyone. The Bible says God makes them alive. It says it over and over and over again. Who determines if God is going to make them alive? According to Jesus, he does. He only gives life to whom he wills to give life. So who's making the choice here? Is it humans? Not according to the book, friends. I know this is tough for some people to take. But look, you better come back to the book. You're going to find yourself going against what it actually teaches. All right. So you can see now, when God says, I'm made alive, and all this stuff, right? Made alive. made alive. Why? Because you were dead. You were dead. He made alive. You were dead. He made alive. Do you see that? We just went and found out how and who. God just raises him on his own because he wants to. So that's the thing, folks. Look at this. Then John answered and said, a man, all humans, can receive nothing. You can't receive anything from God, that's what he's talking about, unless it has been given to him from above. Can you cry out to God and God hear you? Only if it's given to you from above. So who's making the choice? You? Not according to the book. All right. So we're going to go deep, folks, now into Romans chapter 9. That's where we're headed. So let me get there, and we're gonna see some really tough stuff to handle. But look, it's what it is, right? And for some reason, I am struggling to find it. And I'd probably be better off to come back to it, because what's going to happen is I'm going to get really deep in this, and I don't want to start. And I went a little further along with the sovereignty of God than I intended to do. So this is going to be a short one tonight. And what I'm going to do is, when I come back for the weekend, I'm going to take you into Romans 9. And friend, this is where everything gets haywire. This is where God spells it out in as much clarity as you can actually have from the Most High God concerning what he does and how he's doing it. Why he chose, how he chose, and the purposes behind those choices. That's what you see in Romans 9, Romans 10, Romans 11. The whole thing. All right, friends. Till next time. You guys take care.